Oh boy, we are back. LBHT crew, what's going on? B, what's going on?
The Lakers is what's going on.
The Nets is what's going on.
That's false.
Oh man, what's going on? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It feels like it's been forever.
Yeah.
Since we've done a show. But it hasn't.
Probably because we haven't done any videos.
But yeah, we didn't put out any videos this week, man. We were a little burnt out, man. We had a little too much fun this weekend. Lots of NBA playoffs. We're gonna be talking NBA playoffs. We got a Julio Jones story out, so we're gonna talk some more Julio. Look, man, here's the thing. Right. Me and B tried to be authentic and genuine, right? So, it's slow during this time of the year, NFL wise, and we're not the type of channel that wants to just kind of just do top 10 lists and, sleepers. I mean, we don't mind doing that. We'll do a little bit of that. But I mean, mini camps, OTAs, it's just, there's not a whole lot going on and you don't want to fake through it. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, we're going to talk some OTAs today. Look, man, I'm going to find a way to give you guys the Ravens content. Okay. Ravens and Panthers content. We're going to find a way to give you that stuff. We know that's why you guys are here. So, Julio Jones talk heating up. He's definitely out of Atlanta. Will the Ravens get in on that? Oh,
yeah. Felipe and Living Legend and Lawrence Trent in the chat. What's up, fellas?
Shout outs, Living Legend here early. What's going on, Living Legend? Appreciate you coming through. Felipe Marino, what's up? Julio's coming home. We just have unproven wide receivers. Yeah.
What's up, Eric L?
And if you hear that booming sound, that is a thunderstorm going on. Yeah. Behind that screen on B side over there.
Yeah, I got some severe thunderstorm warnings going on for the next little while, but
man, right. Eric L is in the house. What's going on? Shout out to you, Eric L. Man
and thank you for saying young men. Appreciate that.
I really appreciate that because we have another channel called Old Man Gamers. So many thanks for that. Yeah, man. Like we said, there's not a whole lot going on, but there is some things to talk about, and we are going to talk about it. NBA, if any of you guys are NBA fans, we're huge NBA fans, and we haven't put out a whole lot of videos, but we're going to start doing some more live streams covering the playoffs. So far, it's been pretty good. So we're going to discuss, obviously, our Nets and Lakers content. So
yes,
I'll be ready for that. And
what's up, Derek Weatherly and Davon?
Oh, how y'all doing everybody tonight? Is here. Everybody is here. Hashtag LBHT crew. Look, like I say every Wednesday, I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. It's hump day. But if your day hasn't gone so well, hopefully it starts to get better, right? The week gets better. Tomorrow's Thursday, then Friday. And for some of y'all, you get a 3-day weekend. All right. So, yeah, we look forward to it. Now, we got our Black History fact because we like to start every show with a Black History fact. B has history facts, more of a recommendation, and that's going to tie into our first story.
But it is about Black history.
Yep. Yes.
This week, I wanted to recommend another book I did previously. This one, not a Black author. This one's by Mirza Baradaran. Let me make sure I said that right. I've been practicing the whole time. But yes, Baradaran. She is a law professor specializing in banking law. She's working out in California. She was born in Iran. And she has a book called The Color of Money. It came out a few years ago. I believe it was 2017. And basically what that goes over is the history of discrimination in the banking institutions in the United States and how they've played a pivotal role in obstructing Black people from gaining wealth, essentially.
Yeah.
So that, that's something that for people to read, just, to learn a little bit more about the history of this country that you don't really hear about in school or too much on the news. And it also ties in a little bit with what we want to lead the show off with this week, which is it came out a little while ago that the NFL and the NFLPA came to an agreement on a salary cap ceiling For next year, the ceiling is going to be $208.2 million. Now, it won't necessarily reach that, although it's going to hit that. But what that means is from this year to next year, the salary cap increase will be a little over $25 million, which is the biggest increase from one year to the next ever.
Yep.
And the reason that's significant, at least to us, is this past offseason, through free agency or the current offseason, all you heard about was, oh, we don't have any money. Oh, we can't pay players. And they used the pandemic as an excuse to not give out long-term contracts, pay players half of what they're worth. And now you see the NFL signing the new television deals, and the revenue is exploding. And you have a bunch of players who went out there and got deals at less than market value.
Yep. So yeah, it's funny because let me change this banner. Fred Taylor on the I Am Athlete podcast spoke about this. He actually said that. I mean, he said it was probably a couple months ago on one of their episodes that he got it on good authority. I mean, he's plugged into the NFL world, obviously. Mm-hmm. That after this TV deal that went through, I forget how many billions and billions of dollars that was. The cap is going to explode over the next few years. He says it's not going to happen right away, but over the next 3 or 4 years or whatever, that cap could get into the 300s. It's going to explode. Mm-hmm. And that's why the Chiefs were so quick to get Pat Mahomes that 10-year deal to get him locked in, because it seems like a whole lot of money now, but 5 years from now, quarterbacks will be making $50 million a year.
Yeah.
Which is why I said I wouldn't mind paying. I don't care if we had to pay $50 million for Lamar. I'm all for it. Whatever he wants, get him locked up now.
I see Ferris in the chat talking about Julio going to be a Raven. This is kind of where we wanted to go with it. Like, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, we can't afford Julio. They don't want to bring him in. His cap hit is 15." And like Davon is saying right there, the cap is cap. The when you sign a player to a contract, no matter what the contract is, it's not going to be very much a year or two down the line.
No.
That's just the way the NFL works. The cap goes up every single year, and this is why it doesn't behoove you as a fan to even pay attention to what the annual or the average annual salary is for a player, because rest assured the teams can afford it no matter what.
Absolutely. So yes, you want to get into Julio talk?
They're saying Patrick is going to be playing on a discount in a couple of years. Absolutely. I mean, probably starting, next year when his contract kicks in.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we said it for this off season, right? We're looking at Allen Robinson being tagged and how much he would cost. We looked at Kenny Golladay. What did he get? $16 million per year.
18 for Kenny.
At 18 per year, and it's like we're acting like that's too much money. All these guys came at a discount.
Yeah.
The wide receivers next year are going to get more than that. Mm-hmm. Easily. They're going to get more than that. So, you have to pay for talent. That's what it comes down to. If you're not going to develop talent, you have to pay for it. Keenan Ricketts is in the house. What's going on? Appreciate you coming through. Trey Wilson is in the house. What's going on, Trey? Appreciate you coming through.
And discussing the what you'll need to give up for Julio. They say Atlanta's calling around asking for a first, but probably it won't take that. But yeah, I think Baltimore should still be all in. Davon's asking if they've done enough to win a Super Bowl this year, and I think it's possible. Okay, because the reality is, they're building around Lamar, and if Rashod Bateman comes in and plays well, and Hollywood takes the next step, like a lot of people expect him to, you get some production out of Tylan Wallace and Sammy Watkins. In theory, they might have enough.
All right. Well, hold on. Let's set up the Julio story. Let's set up the Julio story. All right.
Well, so, that's where I was going.
Okay.
My bad. But the point is, you don't know what you're going to get from those guys. True. And you know what you'll get from Julio Jones.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously you guys have been paying attention to this. I mean, this isn't real news. It's only news right now because Julio spoke up and said, "Yeah, I'm out of here." And Arthur Blank, with his fake tears, saying he's hurt by this, and how could he say that about me, right? Because you said you were willing to trade him months ago. That's why.
Yeah.
And from what we hear, he hasn't been happy there for a while. So yeah, that's why he's going. But it's news now because he was on the Skip and Shannon show, and apparently, maybe he knew he was on, maybe he didn't know. Who knows? But it's out there, and he said he's out of there. To me, that doesn't mean anything at all, right? They're making it seem like, oh, that hurt his trade value. It didn't hurt your trade value when you put out there that you're trying to get rid of this guy. Everybody knows you're trying to get rid of him. You're going to get what you're going to get. Yes, they want a first round, but you were never going to get a first round. So you're going to settle for a second or third or whatever you get for him. My man Living Legend said, refund the offense and get Julio Jones.
That's right. That's right.
Jay Will is here, man. What's going on, Jay Will? Appreciate you coming through.
What's up, Jay?
Trade Tavon Young, Boykin, and the third for Julio. Okay.
Man, I feel like they would laugh in your face.
Yeah, I have no problem getting up a first round pick. It won't take that, but I will have no problem getting up a first round pick. Why? What does it matter? We just drafted a project in the first round this year. What does it matter?
Well, and like Farrah says right there, if your pick is in the 20s, I give it up so quick, and it will be.
And it will be. Yeah,
it'll be in the late 20s.
What do we always talk about every year? After the season and going into the draft, we look at our draft pick and we're picking around 25, 26, 27, right? Somewhere around that range. And we're looking at who we can get and what's always thrown out there. Oh, we could trade back. Mm-hmm. We'll trade back in a second because there's nobody there that you have to have. All right.
Yeah. At this time of year and during the season, it's, oh man, a first is too much to give up. And then around draft time, it's trade back and get more picks. Yeah.
Trey Wilson says, only problem Ravens didn't take care of is Greg Roman. He's here. He's here, Trey. I don't know what to say, man. He's not going anywhere. D3, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through. Adeep Mahmood is here. What's going on, Adeep?
He says Julio misses at least one practice a week and publicly said that he's done in Atlanta. Whatever leverage the Falcons have is gone. I'd be pissed if we gave up a first to a team with zero leverage. Their leverage isn't gone. Every single time a player says they want to get traded, people will go on in the media and say, oh, you're hurting your trade value. It doesn't hurt your trade value. The GMs know how they value players, and they're not going to give them up for less.
Time out. So, Adeep, what you're telling me is if he never made any comments to the media, showed up to every practice, and was just, saying the company line, that is worth a first-round pick? Is that what you're saying?
Sounds like that's what you're saying.
Like, so you value some practice. We talking about practice? You talking about practice? You value one practice per week and him keeping his mouth shut more than just having a baller on the team, because he's still one of the best wide receivers in the league. And just because his relationship soured with the previous team, that doesn't mean anything. And I want to remind you guys, we have somebody. Now, granted, we didn't give up anything for him, but we pay him some money. We got a tackle on the team, Alejandro Villanueva, who's throwing his teammates under a bus twice.
Yes.
Right. And the first thing he did when he signed with the Ravens was take shots at his former teammates.
I would also like to remind everyone about a guy who was just straight up skipping games, skipping practices, making up stories about why he couldn't play, demanding that he be traded. And that was cornerback Jalen Ramsey. And everybody said, oh, he's destroying his trade value. And he got traded for 2 first-round picks and a fourth.
And we were one of the teams that were willing to give up a first-round pick for him. So, yeah, that doesn't mean anything at all. That's just a talking point, right? That comes from the book of cliches. You're going to hear that's going to be another one of our sayings, man. Book of cliches, all right? Get an old book out, blow off the dust. Okay, dust it off. Let's open it up here. Let's see. All right, asking or making public statements hurts trade value. Okay, that's just a talking point. That doesn't mean anything. When you have a player of value, teams will give up whatever they think they can. They have to give up to get that player. All right.
And Attitude Pop is in the house.
Oh, Attitude Pop. What's going on? Lamar took a little bit, and I think he's getting built so his arm is stronger. Some people saying he might become a little slow, but Tyreek looks like he has 300 pounds of muscle and running. Oh, okay. You're saying that Lamar put on a little muscle. I mean, that's natural, right?
Yeah.
Anybody coming from college, those first few years in the league, you're just, you're developing your man body, right? Your grown man body. Is it going to slow him down? No. It's muscle. It's not fat, right? It might make him a little bit faster. It will slow down a little bit. Maybe you won't notice it. It's not going to be something that you're going to see on the field.
And I do want to say we did just get a Cash App just for appreciating the show. And I just want to say thank you again. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And if you want to be awesome like that person, right? We don't do super chats here. If you want to highlight a comment, you want us to read it on air, right above B. That's our super chat right there, our Cash App. Okay, $ LBHT Show. Okay, don't be scared. Drop a donation. Right, drop a donation. Leave your comment. We will read it on air. All right. Now I'll go ahead and plug the Patreon while I'm at it, right. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. We do a overtime show right after this. Okay, we end here probably like around 8:15, and we go right into the overtime show, and we talk about anything and everything. And you can also join the stream as well, chop it up with us. So if you're enjoying what we do and you want to hang out with us a little bit more, go on over there. As little as $3 a month, and we got a $10 tier if you want one of these nice little coins right here, one of these shiny coins. While we still have them, let me see if my camera can focus today. Let's see. Let's get a close up on that. It doesn't want. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So a few of those left. Once they're gone, they're gone. We'll have something else for the $10 tier, but it won't be that.
Adit saying the Falcons need to pay their rookie class. Everyone knows this and is going to use it against them. Also, the Falcons are 1 year away from a rebuild, and Julio ain't sticking around for that. Julio's under contract for, I believe it's 3 more years. They do need to pay their rookie class, and trading Julio Jones is not the only way to do that.
No.
It's the way that they would prefer right now because they can get some valuable picks back. And like you said, there's no reason to keep Julio around for a rebuild. He is a little bit older, and he's not going to be there once you're rebuilt. But rest assured that him saying I want out is not hurting his value one single bit.
Yeah. Living Legend posted a great question. What does the $20 tier get you? Well, Living Legend, we don't have a $20 tier yet.
Unless you're trying to sign up. I will put one on Patreon immediately following the stream if you're trying to sign up.
In fact, if you're trying to sign up for $20 a month, we'll call it the Living Legend tier. Okay? We'll name it. That would be your perk. It'll be called the Living Legend tier. All right, just for you.
We got another Cash App here from Quan. He says, "Keep up the great work."
My man, Quan, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. So yeah, okay. Julio Jones. This is something that look. I'll say this: more and more people are starting to see our side of it. B. When we first talked about, what are you looking at?
It got bright, man. The storm's gone. That's great. Okay. I was looking out the window there.
I thought lightning was striking down in there. It was like, no Julio Jones in Baltimore. Look, when we first talked about, when we talked about any wide receiver of note, there's a lot of pushback in Baltimore. I understand the thought process here. It's defense first, everything else second. That's why we made the hashtag defund the defense. Right? Mm-hmm. We want you guys to start thinking offensively. You got a superstar like Lamar. We've never had that before in Baltimore. The league's really not seeing anything quite like him. You've had Michael Vick obviously, but Lamar is something different. He's something different, and you want to grow. You want to build that. So don't be afraid to surround him with superstar talent. Right? There's never too much. It doesn't matter if we drafted Bateman. It doesn't matter if Hollywood's getting better. Right? Those guys can be really good. Julio Jones is on another level.
And to point out further why you're saying something like that, it's you look at Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl this past year. They have They have great wide receivers. They got Mike Evans, they got Antonio Brown, they got Chris Godwin, they got Gronkowski, all these guys on offense. But in their first playoff game, Chris Godwin had, 4 or 5 drops?
Yes.
I believe that was the first playoff game of his career.
Against the Washington football team. Yep.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And if not for having those other guys there, they may have been out in that round.
Yeah.
You only get one shot in the NFL. It's not the NBA where you're playing a series. You get one shot. And if you go to the playoffs with guys who haven't been there before, don't have any experience, and may not be ready for that moment, you might be gone, whether you're the better team or not.
And like we always say, I say this about basketball all the time, and it applies to football too. It is a grown man sport. So when your team is really young, you usually don't win it all. Right? You can be really good, but you're not going to win it all because you're playing another team. You'll run into another team that's full of grown-ass men, right, that are ready to win. They've been playing for a long time. They're thinking about their legacy, and they know more than you do out there. So you want some guys out there that been around for a while, right? I feel good about this team long term, but if we're trying to win this year, we need more. I think we need more.
Sammy's not the veteran presence that you want. I mean, I love Sammy Watkins, and he's got all the talent in the world, but I wouldn't trust him to get it done. What's going on, King Bird?
Appreciate you coming through. And Keenan Ricketts, we're gonna get into this in a minute. He said, "Can't wait to hear y'all talk about OTAs." 80 guys showed up, getting valuable reps. Hey, look, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Do we want to get into that?
Sure. I heard that Miles Boykin was standing out, which is just why I don't like talking about OTAs. No, you're not wrong, Mr. Ricketts. They are getting valuable reps. It's good for them.
Yeah,
but I don't believe it holds any value for fans. I don't believe it holds any value for the media, reporting on it. You're just not going to take it. You're not going to get anything from it.
The main thing I take from OTAs is, like Keenan said, players getting reps. That's always good. It's never bad, right? And if you're performing well, OTAs, again, there's nothing bad. Like, you don't want to hear somebody look awful on OTAs. That's really bad. So as long as they show up, they get some reps and they stay healthy, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, there was a little injury scare with Rashod Bateman. He got pulled from practice today. But Harbaugh said it was just soreness. He wasn't actually injured. Yeah. He came back later. The news that did come out of Ravens OTAs is that Bradley Bozeman has locked down the starting center position. So he's going to be the starting center.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about Bradley Bozeman? I'm not saying I hate the move, but I'm not hyped about it either. I mean, he's going to his fourth year with the team, and he hasn't locked down any starting position yet. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe it works. Can't say I hate it. I don't think he's a bad player, but full-time starter at center, man, we'll see. I mean, I know people. I already know y'all gonna say, "Oh, he plays center in college, man." This is 4 years removed from college. He's playing the grown man's game now.
Right, because then my response to you would be, "Why isn't he playing center in the pros?" Or why hasn't he?
Yeah. Living legend calls Sammy Watkins Hammy Watkins.
Yes, it's not nice living. All right.
King Bird says we need Julio Jones ASAP. I don't see the downside to bringing in Julio Jones. I really don't. I can't see a negative. Just don't talk to me about the money part of it.
Especially not after we saw the salary cap ceiling for next year.
Yeah. We can definitely afford it. And that's the other thing too I want to bring up. I know we're in the OTA portion of it, but injuries is one of the things that always gets thrown out there for Julio Jones. Right? He's always hurt. That's overblown. Overblown. This past year was the first time he's missed significant time since
like his third year in the league, second or third year.
Yeah. It's been a while. Does he miss a game here and there? Yeah, so what? Okay, he usually plays, 13, 14 games a year. You don't need more than that. You just need him to be healthy for the playoffs. He doesn't need to play all 16 or 17 games now. You don't need it from that. And also, in those games, those 9 games that he played, this is a fun fact. He had more receiving yards, not only than Hollywood Brown. But did he have more than I think he had more than Andrews this year too.
This year, yes.
Yes.
This year he did.
He had more receiving yards than our top receivers this year. He's also had more wide receiving yards this past year. There's 9 games. He's had more wide receiver yards than any wide receiver for the Ravens since what year was it, B?
2016. Mike Wallace.
Since 2016. Since 2016.
In 9 games.
In 9 games. That's what kind of player Julio Jones is.
And more importantly, that's what kind of player Baltimore has never had.
Right. Don't shy away just because he has to take a game off here and there. That's not a big deal, man. I look at it as load management. So what? He's coming to a team that and that's another thing too. Some of those games I'm confident he could have played in, but when you're playing for a losing team and you're not going anywhere, it's that for what thing? You know what I mean? Like, why am I going to play this game and it doesn't mean anything? No, I'm gonna sit this one out. Mm-hmm. But when you're playing on a team that's going somewhere, going places, you play through certain injuries. Every player gets hurt. Let's get that clear. Everybody gets dinged up. There are injuries that players could easily sit out for week to week, and they make the decision whether to play through it or not. Yeah. Julio Jones could absolutely play through it if he needed to, especially in the playoffs.
The Attitude Pop asking about Sam Darnold and Carson Wentz in OTAs. They're trying to get the Colts and the Panthers, working out together. Basically, I haven't seen much from today. I did see Sam Darnold threw a pick to J.C. Horn already in practice.
Did he?
So that sums up my feelings on Sam Darnold.
Well, there's 2 ways to look at it. Number 1 pick, J.C. Horn is looking as good as advertised, or Sam Darnold looks like Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold is also looking as advertised. Just a little his guys. Travis Taylor is still 5th all time in wide receiver yards for the Ravens, and he hasn't been here since VCRs with a hot new tech. We need Julio. Yes, absolutely.
It's a little after VCRs. just
emphasis on little.
Like VCRs weren't the new tech. TiVo was a new tech. Not Tebow. TiVo. I wonder how many of you guys know what TiVo is? I'm curious. Sam Darnold is trash. That's what Ferris says. Sam Darnold is trash. Thank you, Ferris. Appreciate that. King Apugo is here. King Apugo, what's going on?
What's up, King?
Man, I love when y'all guys come through, man. I love it. I love seeing people, man. I feel like I ain't seen you guys in forever. I love when you guys come through and just say what's up, man. It really brightens my day. It really does. Little Legend says, we talking about practice, not a game? Oh, you're talking about the Julio thing. Yeah, not a game. Not a game. We're talking about practice. Davon, what's going on? He says, once we gave up the second, we knew Brad was playing that spot. Yeah. That's pretty much. We had opportunities to get a center too.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Look, that's one of those things.
What's going on, Tanja?
Tanja, what's going on? What's going on? Appreciate you coming through, Tanja. Davon says TiVo is love. He spelled it right too.
Davon is old. Huh?
Oh man, yeah. Look, I'm not gonna. Look, that's one of those moves where I sit there and I say, okay, you're going Bradley Bozeman. They usually do a good job getting the interior O-line right. Mm-hmm. Although center is a little bit shaky. Usually it's the guard positions that they always hit on. Center, they find suitable players. They don't usually get that stout center. You know what I mean? Yeah. So will he be serviceable? Yeah, probably. I'm gonna say he'll be fine.
Tanja, stop texting and driving every week. Every week, man.
Tanja, and what do you mean you found us? Are you not subscribed to us? Did you hit that notification bell? We should pop right up the minute we go live. You should get a notification. Okay.
Ferris, I know that.
What Ferris say? Rodney calling they on old, watch them be the same age as you be. Yeah, that's why we call them old. We admitted that we know TiVo. Does that not say that we're old? The name of our other channel is Old Man Gamers. What do you want from us, Ferris?
It's not an ironic name.
King Puga says if we, oh yeah, I'm about to say JJ what? No, he's like if we get Julio Jones, we're Super Bowl bound. I was like, no, I told you guys, defund the defense.
Yes. So we're about halfway through here. I think we need to start talking some NBA playoffs.
Okay, Tanja, you just got in here, so if there's something, I was gonna say if there's something you want to talk about regarding the Ravens, drop it in the chat box, but don't type anymore. Okay. focus on the road.
Oh no, Mr. Ricketts. What? Julio would be overkill on the offense.
There's no
would
such
love
thing.
that move, especially because we never got D-Hop. Okay, I thought you were going the other direction with it. Like we don't need him.
Oh.
But no, yeah. I mean, I have high hopes for Bateman.
Yeah.
I think that Tylan Wallace was a good pick, but Julio would have that connection with Lamar that you haven't seen in Baltimore.
Look, let's get something straight. Like, even if we don't make the move, I feel pretty good about the offense with Tanja. Tanja says she's gonna rewatch. She's gonna rewatch. Okay, all right, you rewatch it. But with Hollywood, with Bateman, yeah, we drafted Tylan Wallace, and even Sammy Watkins, the limited games he plays, will be an upgrade. So I feel a lot better this year than last year. But we get Julio Jones. Look, I say all the time, don't be afraid to be great. Okay, don't be afraid to be great. Get Julio Jones. Let Lamar work his magic. You get Julio Jones, Hollywood, Bateman, or it'll be Julio and Bateman on the outside, probably Hollywood.
In the slot.
In the slot. Yeah, I mean, why would you not want that?
Yeah.
Why would you not want that? And then we could stop talking about how Prochet one day could turn into this mythical star wide receiver that you guys think he's gonna be, and we can just go ahead and cut him.
What's going on, Troy Grubb? We're doing well. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Troy? Appreciate you coming through. Jimmy Kidwell is here. What's going on, Jimmy?
Yes,
Did you go all
absolutely,
out?
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Even if it takes that late first, just do it.
And Davon says our rushing attack alone keeps us in contention. Yep. Even if these guys aren't an immediate impact. Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Baltimore, they just need the threats. They need guys who can make plays. Nobody respects their wide receivers right now.
And
but
also,
I think they will this coming year.
And also, the same thing for when we got Anquan Bolden, right? Anquan Bolden was never 1,000-yard wide receiver for us, but he was that caliber of player, right? It'd be the same thing with Julio Jones. He doesn't have to come in here and get 1,400 yards. He's still that caliber of player. So don't look at the stats when they come in here because, we don't throw the ball that much. But he's that guy that can make plays and really make defenses pay for leaving him one-on-one.
Yes.
Okay. All right. It's time for some NBA.
Yes.
It's time for some NBA.
So Boston got exactly what they wanted. These first two games.
Okay. Oh, hold on, real quick before we go over there. Look, we recognize not all you guys are basketball fans, but hang around. We're gonna talk a little NBA playoffs. Okay, we're gonna get into some bonus time talk. We'll be right back on Ravens or NFL news, whatever you want to talk about. All right, so hang out. But it's NBA playoffs, and yes, we're going. You want to start with my Nets?
Well, I did, but I noticed Deshaun's not here tonight. I wanted to ask him what's up with his boy Jason Tatum, but that's all right. That's okay. Celtics fans were screaming about how they wanted Brooklyn. Well, you got Brooklyn.
You got what you asked for.
You got every single bit of Brooklyn, and you can't handle it.
Look, I'll say this, right? We're gonna keep this entertaining for our non NBA fans. We're gonna keep it a little entertaining for y'all. The Nets Celtics series, that's through. We're winning in 4.
It's over. Yeah.
We're winning in 4. But the more compelling story is what Kyrie said after the game. That's the compelling story. So they asked how he. So for those of you who don't know, Kyrie Irving used to play for the Celtics, and things didn't go well when he was over there, and now he's with Brooklyn. So they asked him, how does he feel going back to Boston to play this the playoff game, being up 2-0. And he gave the typical, oh yeah, just want to go in there to get that win. But then he dropped a little, I just hope they're not going to say something racist like the N-word. And he actually said the N-word, he just like, and then like, did they say stuff like that? And he's just like, if you know, you know. Yeah. And honestly, that doesn't even, it's a headline, but it's not controversial. There have been plenty of players to have said the exact same thing in different sports. Yeah. Right?
Boston fans don't agree with you, but yes.
Yeah, well, yeah. Those same Boston fans will probably call me the N-word. Yes, fans. World B Flat. That is his nickname. World B Flat.
Derek, don't do that, man. He said the Knicks and Hawks might be a good series, but it's the Knicks and Hawks, so who knows? Man, that's going to be a very entertaining series. They are starting right now.
Yeah, they're starting right now.
The Wizards and Sixers are already going.
Yeah. King Bird.
And that's just about done.
King Bird. Shh, don't tell B.
Whatever, man. I don't care.
The whole thing.
Listen, the Lakers, I'm not going to defend them until they show up and start playing in their games.
All right, okay, let's talk about the Lakers real quick because, look, there's not much to take away from the Nets game, man. I mean, when you have all three – well, you know what? No, before we get to the Lakers, there is something that I want to say about the Nets, okay? Because we had a nice long conversation about it yesterday.
I see just a little, maybe a former Phoenix fan here or something.
Let's see. The Nets are only good because amazing, wonderful, innovative coaching genius of Steve Nash.
It takes really high basketball IQ to roll the ball on the floor and say, go play.
We're going to spend a couple minutes. I'm going to spend a couple minutes gloating about the Nets. Okay. Because B can attest to this. I didn't just jump on the bandwagon when they got KD and Kyrie, right? I was there when they had Darren Williams and they're making when they made the worst trade in sports history. The worst trade in sports history. They gave up all their picks for like 5 years, right? To get aging Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and what's his name? Jason Terry.
Yes.
And Jason Terry. All right. And the owner at the time thought that was going to be enough to get us out the second round. I don't know.
They had just won a title. So if you get those exact same players,
that was 2 years.
Minus arguably the best one in Ray Allen, then you will also win a title.
But they were 2 years. I think they're 2 or 3 years removed from winning that title.
Yeah, they had just won.
Yeah. So it was one of the worst trades ever, and those guys are already on their way out. They played for Brooklyn for 2 years, and they were done. Darren Williams fell off a cliff as well, and now we just have this awful team. The Celtics have all these top picks. They have all these assets. They had other young players. They had everything that they needed to build a dynasty. And what did the Celtics do?
And they're 500.
They squandered it. And this is 8 years in the making. In that time span, Brooklyn got rid of their front office, fired Billy King, right? Brought in Sean Marks, brought in Kenny Atkinson. Those guys came from the Spurs, and they went dumpster diving. They went and traded for a bust in D'Angelo Russell because he was trending towards being a bust. Mm-hmm. They went in and just made excellent picks late in the first round. Karis LeVert, Jarrett Allen, right? And they went and I think Spencer Dinwiddie was like a second round pick. They put him in the D League if he was even drafted. I can't remember, but they did a good job developing this team. And what did they do? They did what the Celtics could not do or would not do, is take those young, talented players that the fans love and they said, we're trading them.
They did what Nintendo don't.
Yeah.
So we got Derek's asking, how much did they give Joe Johnson? And that's a good question because they gave him a lot.
Johnson.
But Joe earned every single dollar. Joe showed up he wasn't a great player.
He did.
He wasn't a great player by that point, but he showed up every night.
It was over $100 million, I want to say. It was a lot of money at the time, a whole lot of money. But yes, he was one of those players where, no, like you could say he got overpaid, but man, he did bring it every night. I had no problem with that contract.
Troy asking who do we think is going to make it out of the West? I'm still saying Lakers. I think they round into form over the next couple rounds, and they'll get out of the West.
Yeah. Ferris says the Celtics ruined those picks. Horrible pick management. Yes. I mean, Danny Ainge, your boy Danny Ainge, right? It was one of those things where he felt like he was Thanos and he had all the stones and he could do no wrong, and then he was just like, now what do I do?
He's like, I'm not going to use them for anything. I'm just going to hold on to them.
Yeah.
Not going to use their power, because if you go back and you look at those drafts, they made the correct picks. Yeah, Jaylen Brown was the right pick. Jason Tatum was the right pick. It's just that they're not as good as the top players in the league.
Yeah. So this is about 7-8 years ago when this trade happened, and they had all this time to build a team similar to what Brooklyn has, and they haven't done it. And now, it's crushing, right? Because now Brooklyn has a team that they were striving to make, and that team is about to blow them out, and they did it without any first round draft picks. You know what I mean? So it's if you're a Celtics fan, that's crushing. That's absolutely crushing. All right, let's get into some Lakers talk. So B is a little down on the Lakers. I'm not down on them.
I'm not down on the Lakers. I am justifiably upset with how they've played in the first two games. The first game, they didn't show up at all. They were very lazy. There was a lot of standing around on offense. They weren't hustling. They couldn't make a shot. Anthony Davis was very timid. Same with LeBron. Game two, they played much better. Right, Anthony Davis, he came out and played really well. LeBron played a little better. Schroeder gave him, I think it was like 22, 24 points, but they got absolutely nothing from their bench. So, they're still kind of trying to work those guys back into the rotation, but they're just a much better team than Phoenix. So they're going to win the series while they do that.
Well, it's like I said before. I think I said it in the live stream we did on Thursday after they beat Golden State, that I thought that they were going to lose that game one. In fact, Ferris was on that live stream. Ferris, I did say that, right? I think I said I could see Phoenix winning that first game, but the Lakers winning the series. Maybe it might even go 7 games, right? I mean, the Suns are a good team. They're a good team, but it's just the Lakers. Look, man, have a little rust, right? They start out slow. They did the same thing last year when he got to the playoffs.
Kingbird, y'all didn't beat Memphis. So not sure I want to hear it. Okay. I'll tell you one thing. If the Warriors had won that game against LA would still be in the playoffs.
Wait,
they weren't going to lose to the Grizzlies.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he's a Golden State fan. He called him Flop James.
The hate
Look who's real. Here, Off the Record podcast.
What's going on, Mikey?
That's our guy, Mikey, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to him. Davon says Lakers 6. Suns just too young. Yeah.
I want to, and Eric L says also Devin Booker is the truth, but the Lakers have LeBron and AD. Lakers will probably win in 6. I see. It was interesting in the game, in game 2. One of the announcers said that, Devin Booker is kind of becoming a star. And the other one was like, becoming, he's already a star, isn't he? And then I'm like, no. How can you be a star when you've been in the league for 5 years and you haven't even come close to they came close last year, but you haven't been a playoff team in 5 years. Like, how?
Yeah.
Stars get their teams to the playoffs.
So, I always ask people, like, what's your definition of star? Because everybody's definition is a little bit different. You can have star, and you can have superstars, all right? And you can have elite. Or do you say elite and superstars are in the same category? And you can have rising stars. I look at Devin Booker as a rising star. I still think he's not where he's going to ultimately be.
What's going on, Noah?
Noah is here. Appreciate you coming through. Noah Driscoll, LBHT crew. How's everybody doing tonight? We're doing great, Noah, man. Thank you for coming through, man.
Derek says you wish you would have liked to see a full strength Hornets team against Boston. Yeah, but Boston wasn't full strength either.
Yeah, so. Yeah, Boston, man. I'm going to watch every minute of this blowout series. But yeah. So the Lakers, they're fine, man. They're tied 1-1. Like I said, 6 or 7 games they'll win it in, and from there, who would they play next? Let's do a quick rundown of some of these other series. So
right Memphis, now, Philly and Washington are playing.
Philly and Washington.
The score here. Philly was up by 11 after 1.
Yeah, that first game was close. A little too close for comfort. And I didn't know this, but apparently Russell Westbrook and Joel Embiid got a little beef.
Yeah, and it's getting closer now. It's 37-31 in the second.
Yeah. Justin Lowe says he's rooting for Melo because of B More. All right, yeah.
Terry Stotts sucks though. No argument there.
Yeah.
Look, Damian Lillard's another. Like if you really want to be, this kind of top line player and everything, like you better beat Denver without Jamal Murray.
Hey, King Bird, let me ask you something, man. Because he says LeBron flops on the court. What player doesn't flop in today's NBA? That's part of the game. Like he doesn't flop more. Look, I'm a Brooklyn fan. The king of flop is James Harden. He is the king of flops. He flops so much. I'm amazed that he still gets calls because.
But he does it so well.
I don't think he does it well. I think it's the most obvious flop. Like
he's great at it because every time a player gets fouled, that's how they react. It's all over dramatic like that.
Every time he drives to the bucket, he does the.
I know. It's amazing. You know what's incredible about it? You know what's incredible? He's gotten to the point now where he does that head fake and it doesn't interrupt his drive. So he does it and he doesn't get the call and he just goes for layup. It's incredible.
I've seen a highlight where he literally jumps on this player's back. He just leans on his back and rolls over and they call the foul on the player. It's amazing. He's got some mind control. You know what I think it is? You don't really hear him complain.
Yeah.
Right? Like he does the little flop, and if it works, cool. If not, cool. I'm gonna keep playing, and then sometimes he gets it, sometimes he doesn't. What's Just a Little saying?
Just a Little says the NBA is affirmative action for white coaches since 1947. Once again, Just a Little, I'm not going to disagree.
No arguments here. No arguments here. Ferris said he was like, "Oh, Memphis beat the Jazz." Then I found out Donovan didn't play. So you think with Donovan playing, they're gonna win?
I mean, I feel like they will, but we'll see. Adi talking about the fights coming up. Off topic. Well, what's your guys' thoughts on Wilder versus Fury 3 and not Fury versus Joshua? Does Wilder have a chance?
It is not off topic. It's on topic because you want to talk about it. We are going to talk about it.
Yes.
Real quick. Hold that thought. Real quick. Let's just go through some of the other matchups and we'll wrap up, and then we'll get into some Wilder and Fury 3 talk. So hold on. Let me bring it up. NBA playoffs. So, all right. So right now it's Philly. Why won't this thing scroll? Philly and Washington are playing right now. Right.
Yes, and the Knicks and Hawks are starting as well.
Okay. Philly's gonna win. Philly's gonna win that series. Knicks and Hawks. Our man Ferris, our good friend Ferris. Right, and make sure you check him out on the Let's Get Ready Network. He hosts a bunch of shows on there, including the Highlights Sports Show. All right. This man knows everything about sports. He's a diehard Knicks and Giants fan. So he is rooting hard for the Knicks right now. They lost a heartbreaker in the last game. Will they pull out game 2?
They won't.
I think this is look, I picked them to win. I think they're going to win. What's his name? Randall didn't have a great game that first game.
Not at all.
I think he's going to respond this game though. Ferris giving us a live report and won by RJ. Good job, RJ. RJ Barrett. Yeah, and Ferris thinks Donovan's the X factor for that Utah series. You know what? Yeah, I agree. Utah's going to win it. What else we got?
Well, I'll tell you what we've got. We've got one more Cash App. So again, thank you very much. We really appreciate you guys for supporting the show. In terms of the other series that we've got, you said,
Wait, who's the Cash App from?
Oh, you said we don't got to say his name.
Oh, okay.
So don't worry about it.
Well, thank you. Anonymous. You guys just say anonymous.
From Anonymous.
Appreciate you, Anonymous. Man, thank you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
So you just talked about the Grizzlies and the Jazz. We got the Bucks and Heat. And Jimmy Butler said he had something for Milwaukee, and what he had for them was a gift of Game 2 because they beat the brakes off of Miami.
Yeah. Hey, it was a gift.
Ferris, nobody cares about the Knicks, man.
Peyton just drew a foul. Okay, Knicks got more energy this time. Look, the Knicks always have energy. Thibodeau's always going to have those teams. He's going to coach those teams that are high energy. The problem is, like, how many years can he keep that up for before they start having
before they're ground to dust?
Yeah. The Bucks beat them down. They beat down Miami. And I picked Miami to win thanks to Ferris. I was picking the Bucks to win this series, and Ferris on air convinced me to go against my better judgment and pick Miami. So thank you, Ferris. Appreciate that. Thanks. And the Bucks won the first game. Man, the Bucks in 4.
It's not going to be in 4. It's not going to be in 4.
The Bucks in 4.
That's still a series. That's still a series, man. So we also got the Clippers and Mavericks. Luka Doncic beating the Clippers. I mean, he's putting on quite a performance through a couple games, and the Clippers are just kind of, they're playing out the string on the end of that era, the Kawhi era.
Yeah. So last year they got the benefit of the doubt because they were playing in the bubble, and Lemon Pepper Lou kind of showed you where their head was at. They weren't really feeling the bubble, and you just said, okay, next year when they're out the bubble, they'll be more focused, they'll be more locked in, and they'll do big things. And come to find out that you just have a team that just doesn't care. So the Mavs in 4.
Well, and again, this is a thing that I talk about a lot when we talk about the NBA. Depth doesn't really matter. Your depth isn't going to be that much better than who you're playing, regardless of who you have in there. Yeah. And Paul George is not the dude that you want to be rolling into a series with, as your sidekick. Yeah. When they signed in LA, you got Pat Beverly out here talking about, I just won a championship, telling Steph Curry, the league is ours for the next 5 years. But you don't win games, Pat. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Solomon?
What's going on, Solomon? Appreciate you coming through. He said just got off of work and made the podcast. Well, thank you for coming through, man. Really appreciate that. And I hope you didn't work too hard. Listen, enjoy, get some rest. All right. Watch some NBA playoffs if you're into that. And yeah, Pat Beverly he's a smaller Draymond Green, right? They play good defense, they work hard, and they do a lot of barking because they don't have to carry the team.
Listen, man, and even Draymond has stepped up in some big games and carried them. Like he went for a triple-double in the finals after he came back off his suspension for kicking people in the balls.
He had no choice. He had no choice. He had to do something to make people forget what he did. Living Legend says depth is not valuable in the playoffs when the rotation is shorter.
And individual players make a much bigger impact in the NBA than they do in other sports.
I mean, depth matters for sure, but you have to have, your best players have to be the best in the league, some of the best in the league.
I don't think it does, man. Like, the Lakers just won the title, and their third best player was Kyle Kuzma.
You know why I say that? Because I look at, it's not critical that you have depth. Let me put it that way. It does help, though. I keep going back to that first series that Golden State won, right? When Iguodala was the MVP. You look at that bench. Iguodala came off the bench and he was the MVP, right? But if you look at that bench, there was a bunch of players that were former All-Stars. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that bench was deep, and it's just a matter of their rotations, man. Like it just Cleveland just didn't have enough.
Well, they didn't have enough because they only had one star. If Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love played in that series, Cleveland would have won that series.
Yeah. Derek Weatherly said Pat Beverly is a smaller Lance Stevenson.
I love Lance Stevenson, man.
Lance Stevenson he had a little bit of offense though. Oh, look at
What's
Caleb
up, Caleb?
coming through.
Oh, come on. I should have known Caleb was going to show up. Something positive happened in Dallas, and here's Caleb.
Caleb is Dallas everything, man. Shout out to you, Caleb. You can also find Caleb on the Let's Get Ready Network, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, man. These are some real cool people over there. All right. Kingbird56 says, if I was on the Clippers, I will constantly talk crap to them and push them around. That's what I will do, Luka.
I mean, that's cool, and he'll hit multiple threes in your face and beat you.
Yeah, constantly talk crap to him and push him around. The thing is, Kingbird, you only get 6 fouls. All right, yeah. Like this isn't 1993 anymore. Like you can't just you can't foul people like that. So you get your 6 fouls, and then you'll be talking from the bench. So, yeah. Guess you just have to play basketball. Kingbird says he's a Warriors fan, but you're right, B. Okay.
That's right.
All right, there you go.
It doesn't even matter what you're talking about. That is always the correct answer.
Guessalo says, what happened to Kuzma?
I think he's just he's in a spot now where he doesn't have a solid place in the rotation. A solid place on the team, like a solid role. They brought in Schroeder, they brought in Harrell, they brought in a couple other players, and he's just I think he's kind of struggling to find where he fits.
Yeah, and is he the youngest player on that team? One of the youngest players on the team.
Yeah, well, Taylor Horton Tucker, I'm not sure exactly how old he is. He's probably the youngest.
The thing is, this is what, when we say this is a grown man game, LeBron always, whenever he's putting together a team, the first thing he does is get rid of all the young guys on the team, right? You can't win with those guys. He wants veterans that have been there, done that, right? That know exactly what they need to do, that understand, hey, when you come here, you need to play this role. Don't worry about all the other stuff. I need you to do this when you're on the floor. And they understand that. They know how to do that, and they're focused on that. Young players are still trying to figure out what kind of player they are in the league. And though Kuzma's done a good job, fitting in, but you're still going to struggle with that because Kuzma can do a lot more than what he does.
Yeah, and it's tough to get into a rhythm when you don't know, you're not getting like consistent minutes, consistent shots, and things like that. He's
exactly, Mikey.
Struggling a bit.
Yeah, Lakers kept Kuzma.
No, they wanted the Ingram for that deal.
But you know what? But I think Kuzma would have worked out better than Ingram. Yes, Ingram can score, but is he going to do anything else for you? Like,
I would take Ingram over Kuzma every day. Every day.
I don't think he'll do all the dirty work that Kuzma does. Night in and night out.
Does Kuzma do it though? Like I know he runs around a lot, but
no, he does, man.
Really accomplishing much out there.
He gives you that hustle, man.
I'll tell you this. I'll say this. If you had Brandon Ingram to score consistently, you wouldn't need Kuzma to do dirty work.
Man, you got players that can score consistently.
They have 2 players who can score consistently. I mean, Schroeder can score a bit. He averaged I think 15.
Yeah,
but they, Brandon Ingram is another level as a scorer from Schroeder.
Yeah. Oh, flop. Yeah, here we go. Kingbird said flop James. Yeah. Flop James.
Yeah, Kuzma don't do no dirty work. He runs around a lot, man. He runs around a lot. He tries hard.
Dirty work, man. He brings that hustle. Okay.
He tries hard.
Somebody's got to slap the floor. Yeah, Solomon. English he's just a scorer.
That's Solomon. Follow that up and tell me what wins games. Is it points? I think it's points.
Listen. You don't want somebody that wants to get his shot over the star. Okay, he needs to come in there and know when to take the right shot. That's the thing. Ingram can score. Does he know how to fit in when he's not the main guy? Like the ball's not in his hands the majority of the time. Does he know how to get his points?
He's not the main guy in New Orleans.
Yeah.
He's fitting in just fine.
How'd they do this year?
Not whatever. It's not relevant. What we're talking
about. Yeah, no, I agree, Mikey. Every team needs a third bucket getter. But do you know how to get those buckets? Because basically, like you need him to be that
I'm sorry,
Joe Harris type of player.
I'm sorry. I gotta stop you. Kingbird, the Lakers eliminated you. You cannot do this. You got to go trash talk the Kings or somebody. You can't bring that here.
Look, Kingbird, you guys will be fine next year. You know, you'll get the real hero of your team back. Okay.
Part of it, anyway.
They're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. You know, they're not going
whatever parts they can scrape up off of the operating room floor.
I know. All right, guys. We are into. Oh no. I promised some boxing.
Yes.
We're going to get into that. All right, go ahead.
They probably left already. You spent way more time on that than we were supposed to.
I apologize for that. Who asked about that?
Adi,
are you still here? They were talking about it in the chat, but we didn't. And you know what's funny? I meant to talk about that last week.
Yeah. So to answer his question, I think Tyson Fury wins. If I were them, I would still just try to pay Wilder to go away. You know, there is still that option. They said they're not going to do it. They're just going to do the fight, and then they'll do the Joshua fight later in the year. You know, Fury's a much, much better fighter than Deontay Wilder. He's shown that in both of their fights. But the problem is he got knocked unconscious in the first fight. And that can always happen when somebody has power like Deontay Wilder.
Yeah. And yes, Fury's a more skilled fighter. I don't think highly of any of these heavyweights, to be honest. None of them are that skilled. Fury's not that skilled, right? He's just more skilled than the guys that are out there, and they're not that skilled. Like Wilder's not skilled at all. All right, he's just very powerful. And the sad part about it is, if he just developed just a little bit, learn how to throw a straight jab and a straight right. What's up?
Deontay Wilder's propaganda campaign took hold here. We got Kingbird and Spirit of Justice calling Fury a cheater.
Oh man! Oh, okay. Let's bring it up. Deontay Wilder going to knock the crap out of cheater Tyson Fury. How did he cheat? I must have missed that. Spirit of Justice, and thank you for coming through to the live stream. Thank you for coming through. And Spirit of Justice, man. I see your your avatars. You're constantly changing them up. No, he always has some different ones up there. I noticed them.
It's messed up.
Fury can only win if he cheats again. How did he cheat? I missed something.
Did her wrong.
Huh? Oh, her makeup artist. Yeah, for Serena. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a bad look. But how did he cheat? I missed that.
Oh, he gave several reasons. I forget what they are now. He said that I think he said that one of the things he said was he was drugged. They said that the ref cheated. I mean, listen, the ref cheating for him is true. But that's not Fury. Fury didn't do that.
Wait, you know? You're talking about when Fury got knocked out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's throw that one out.
Wilder went on a rant after the second fight, and he gave all these reasons about why it was not fair.
Mikey says Wilder's been working. I don't believe that.
Spirit of Justice. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just saying he said that Avatar was the greatest female athlete of all time.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yes.
It's just there are other pictures of her.
Fury said she like the Lakers. Agent E, what's going on, Agent E? Hold on, Mikey. What's going on, Agent E? I appreciate you coming through.
Some videos to prove it. You know what, Mikey? Jake Paul been working too. I don't know if you saw him, but he dodged like 15 straight punches in the corner with his hands down. All right. Greatest boxer of all time.
He might
saw it on video.
He might be working on it. I think it's just too late in his career to really change it. You know what I mean? Like, well, let me take it back. It's not too late. I mean, we're talking about learning how to throw some straight punches and not those looping punches. He can learn that. Is he going to learn it in time for this next fight? No.
Well, it's not even the punch. He needs to learn how to defend himself, and he needs to learn how to move in a ring. And he's not going to learn those things.
Yeah. Fair says saying you're more skilled than Deontay is like saying I am the ugliest at an ugly contest.
The least ugly. The least ugly.
The least ugliest. Yeah.
It's not nice.
That's not. But no, I agree with you guys that are saying that the refs. I mean, I call it cheating or whatever, but no, I don't think he definitely gave him an unfair advantage in that second fight. It was a draw at the end, but I don't see it as a draw. I see that as Deontay Wilder knocked him out, and the ref woke up Fury. Right, he was out cold. Fury even admitted that he was out until he heard the ref standing over him counting. You don't need to do that, right?
Spirit of justice, is that a thing that you actually heard? Because I don't think so.
Andre Ward coming out of retirement to fight Canelo? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't want to see
that. Just something that you want to see?
If Ward was still boxing, I would have loved to have seen it if he was active, but no, not anymore. Just finish your career undefeated and stay undefeated. Mr. J the 6 is here, man. What's going on, Mr. J the 6? Appreciate you coming through.
What's up, Mr. J?
All right, so we're going to go into bonus time. We can keep talking Wilder and Fury if you want. We're going to go into bonus time. We'll talk for a few minutes, and then we're going to head over to the overtime show. If you want to hang out with us at the overtime show, all you got to do, sign up right above me, patreon.com/LBHT show. We got 2 tiers, $3 tier and the $10 tier. Okay, both tiers will get you access to the overtime show, man. It is a lot of fun. Ferris usually comes through. We'll see if Deshaun is waking up from his nap and willing to talk some Celtics, talk about his boy Jason Tatum. But we have a good time, man. We talk about anything, sports, movies, whatever you guys want to talk about. We just hang out for a while and just have a good time. So hope to see you there for sure. Yes, come join the LBHT crew. Well, look, if you're here right now, you're part of the LBHT crew. Okay,
that's right.
That's free. That's for free. Okay, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button, and bam, you're part of the crew. Okay, you're part of the crew. Now, if you just want to go a little extra and support, okay, that's one way right there. Patreon.com/LBHT show. Right above B, you got the Cash App, $ LBHT show. We had a few people tonight to support, man, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And another way, if you want to support, if you like some of the merch that we're wearing, right? If you like that, right below here, right below there on the ticker, lbhtshow.com/shop. Okay, we have a shop full of all kinds of amazing merch. We're wearing long sleeves right now. B's wearing a hoodie. I know it's hot out there, but we got some tank tops, we got t-shirts, we got shorts, we got all kinds of things on there. If you want a nice, awesome mug like this, put your cold water in or your coffee or whatever, okay? You can do that. But yeah, check it out.
What's going on, Suge?
Oh, Suge is here. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through. He said he don't have an OnlyFans. Would you subscribe, Suge?
I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Living Legend. If you're going to subscribe, I'll start it right after the show.
He'll be the OnlyFan on there. Oh, click one's coming through. Guys, did I miss the show? Hey, we got a few more minutes, man. We're in bonus time right now. We're in bonus time. Just hanging out, whatever you guys want to talk about for a few minutes. And if you want to hang out some more, man, hit up that Patreon. Hit that Patreon, come through. Mr. J the 6 said, should say yeah, he would. Okay. Celtics getting the gentleman's sweep, and I'll give the Clippers one game to win because Kawhi is going to drop 50 and guard everybody on the Mavericks.
Look, okay. I don't think they're going to sweep the Clippers. The Celtics are not getting the gentleman's sweep. They're getting 4 and they're out.
Yeah. They're getting the rude sweep, the rude awakening sweep.
They're getting the watch your mouth sweep.
Kingbird says Serena Williams has a nice body. Just saying. Well, she's one of the greatest athletes of all time. I hope her body's nice. I would hope she doesn't have a dad bod.
Well, tell that to baseball players. I was going to name one, but like all of them.
Yeah. Luka's killing the Clips. Yeah, he is. He is, man. He killed them last year too. We're being honest about it. Mikey says, why isn't Kawhi?
Because El Nino de Maravilla cannot be guarded.
There you go. Ferris says they're about to get hit by the broom sweeps. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Ferris says he's got a cake bod, and I'm not that far behind you. I got to get back in the gym. I be fooling people because they think because they're like, you got some nice arms. That's because I carry around all these kids. That's it. The rest of my body is just going to waste. But yeah, Click One wants to know, do you guys think Lamar will have a better season in 2021 than his MVP in 2019? That's an excellent question.
It's a tough one. I think statistically, I don't think he'll have as many rushing yards, but I do think he'll have way more passing yards, and I think he'll have more passing touchdowns.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Interceptions is kind of a crapshoot because you can throw picks that weren't your fault. Those kind of fluctuate a little bit. I'm going to say that yes, he has a better season.
I agree. He'll definitely be in a hunt for a MVP candidate again. So yes. Add to Pop says Kawhi should not be mentioned with LeBron James ever again. 1,000% agree. He had his moment after he won in Toronto, right? And he got that praise, and then he went to the Clippers, and everybody thought that, hey, you got the Finals MVP going to a team that was already in the playoffs, seemingly good talent, and you bring in Paul George. Well, what's not to like about that?
Yeah.
But the thing is, LeBron is better than Kawhi. AD is better than Paul George. Yeah. And in the end, that's what it comes down to, and that's all that matters.
And you know what? People don't give him the respect, but Dwight Howard is better than the big men in LA too.
Yeah. And honestly, I shouldn't even be making that comparisons because they haven't even played each other in the playoffs. All right. But now we gotta be talking about is Luka better? Is Luka better?
Luka is one of the top players in the league.
He is. You're
just getting messages from a Suge?
No, Suge, no. You're not talking about the messages.
The one that I sent on April 29th? Is that what you're talking about?
You talking about for the draft? Suge, check your messages, bro. Check your messages. We just assume you were busy. It's fine. I wonder if that's a Twitter thing, man.
Yeah.
I wonder. Twitter setting us up. But you know what? We'll bring you on soon, man. You want to come on one of these live streams and hang out with us, man? You're more than welcome. Than welcome.
Anytime, man.
And make sure you guys follow Suge Knight 323 on Twitch. All right, he's a Steelers fan, but he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Despite that.
Agent E says, I don't think we're going to get Julio. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I don't really think so either. But my thing is this: until he's not available, I'm going to keep saying it. It's the same thing with AB, right? I knew we weren't going to get AB, but until he's no longer available, I'm going to keep saying we need to do it because we need to do it. Yeah. And I don't accept the excuse of, oh, well, money, or well, not a good fit in the locker. Like those are BS excuses, and we need talented players. These are some of the top players in the NFL. So I don't want to hear it. So until Julio is traded elsewhere, and don't let it be the Patriots.
He's on the Patriots.
Until he's traded elsewhere, I'm going to keep saying he needs to come to Baltimore.
Eric L saying, how many times will Lamar probably throw a game this season? Also, how many passing touchdowns will he have? I'm not sure what you mean with probably throw a game. I feel like that's a autocorrect issue there.
How many pass attempts per game, I think is what he's saying.
Okay. Yeah. So passing touchdowns, I think he breaks 40. I'm going to say 44.
Attempts per game?
No. Passing touchdowns. Attempts per game. I think they're going to try to hold him down still. I'm going to say he ends up at 27.
He had 35 in his MVP year? 35
36.
touchdowns? 36 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. 44 he could absolutely do. It'll be in the 40s for sure. I mean, I said it last year. Last year was a bad year for him. He was 4 touchdowns away from 30 touchdowns. Better blocking, better wide receiver core, a little bit more passing attempts. less running. Yes, he'll be in the 40s in passing touchdowns. Passing attempts between 25 and 30. Between 25 and 30. So good question, man.
I gave specific numbers, but that's all right. Mr. J, who is going to be the best rookie QB? My money is going to be on Justin Fields for that. He's got an elite wide receiver in Allen Robinson. They've got a good run game. Depending on how Tevin Jenkins works out, I think they'll be able to protect him. And they've got a really, really good defense backing him up as well. And I don't believe at all in Urban Meyer.
Well, yeah, and just a simple fact that even if you believe in Urban Meyer, they have a longer way to go, right? They're at the bottom, right? And Chicago's trying to win now. So better situation for Justin Fields, and I think he's a talented quarterback. Yeah, I think he'll have the better season. Let's see.
And I still don't know what to make of Zach Wilson, really. And I don't think they have the receiving core for him to, be in that discussion, really.
So, yeah, if we're being honest, I don't know what to make of him either, but I'm just going to go ahead and say he's not going to work out.
Wow.
I don't think he's going to work out, man. Those guys that you don't know about that come out of nowhere and then just get drafted high, it doesn't usually work out.
Yeah, sure. There's going to be an overtime show. We're going to be switching over here in a couple minutes. The link will be on the Patreon page. Yes. And you'll be able to join and come online if you want.
Yeah. So if you've never been on Patreon, just patreon.com/LBHT Show. Sign in. All right. And then, yeah, just look at the post. I'll throw the post up there. All right. And come hang out. King Bird said Lamar Jackson will throw 50 touchdowns if we get Julio Jones. Hey.
Yeah, I can see it.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, a couple more comments and we're going to get up out of here. Click one says Lamar is receiving the Aaron Rodgers treatment. That's the worst part of early success. Lamar's down year in 2020 was better than Kyler's and Baker's. Yep, best years, which were also in 2020.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, that's what comes with success. And, when you have expectations like that, I'm all for it. I'm all for having expectations thrown on you and you meeting those expectations. Just give him the tools that he needs to succeed. Right.
Attitude Pop saying, but Trey Lance landed in the best situation. I think probably, yeah.
But I don't know if he's going to start.
I think the Bears have a better roster, but the 49ers have a better coach. So I think long term that is the best situation. But like Jose said, they're probably going to mess around and try to not start him initially. And I think for right now, for this year, it's going to be Justin Fields. Yeah. I think Trey is going to take a little time.
Yeah. And Shug wants to know, is Ferris going to be there? Ferris will probably be.
Listen, Shug, that you got to show up and find out, Shug.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know if Ferris is going to show up.
I don't know his schedule. We're not his keeper.
Hold on. Young Gene, Ty, Honey Badger. Oh, hold on. Let me read the comment. I'm scared because I think Chiefs in the race for Julio Jones because they haven't extended Honey Badger. Is what you meant to say. They're going to have $22 million in cap.
I haven't heard anything about them being in, but it would not surprise me at all. But I think that he's going to end up in New England, which should be equally as scary for a lot of people.
If they got Julio Jones, just Ravens fans, and specifically the Ravens fans that don't want Julio Jones, what would you be thinking if the Chiefs got Julio Jones? Would you be thinking he's hurt anyway, he's aging anyway, doesn't matter, or would you be saying, oh my God, we're toast?
You'd be thinking, what have we done?
Please don't let that happen. Now we have to get Julio Jones. Now I'm worried. All right, guys, we are going to get out of here. Attitude Pop says if Lamar was with the 49ers, they would have won 2 Super Bowls by now. Agree or disagree? I am going to disagree.
Yeah, got to disagree. The 49ers weren't ready in his rookie year, and this past year they got hit with so many injuries they wouldn't have been able to make it. But they would have won the year before, though, for sure.
Yeah. And one last one. Justin Fields' squad is pretty solid. But Allen Robinson being QB proof, Darren Mooney, Riley Ridley. How's Riley Ridley playing? I didn't see how he played last year.
He ain't.
Cole Kmet. You're kind of projecting here a little bit, Mr. J. I don't know. They might try to be good. I'm not sure how good they are right now.
All they need is Allen Robinson and David Montgomery out of that group.
Yeah,
they'll be good to go.
All right, we're getting out of here. Hey, guys, thank you very much. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for all the support. All right, let me put this on here because I'll forget to put this on here. Thank you for watching. All right. If you want to come hang out with us on the Overtime Show, give us a few minutes. We're going to get set up, and then we're going to set out that link right above here, patreon.com/LBHT Show. We'll be posting it there real soon, so be on the lookout. Everybody else, have a good night, and we will see you next time. Peace out.